Are you looking to buy a new build and wondering if you could get a third-party inspection on your home? Guys, pay attention to this video because you'll understand why this is so important. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh Zuniga, and today we're going to discuss with you why is it important to get a third-party inspection when you get a new build. So guys, I'm going to tell you this straight up. There is no such thing as a perfect home. Even a new build, even if you have it built by your own builder, even if you're having a home that's resale, there's always going to be something wrong with it because guess what? This is built by human hands. It is our job to hire a third-party home inspector, give you a great recommendation, and we can go over all the majors like your roof, your HVAC. We can go over all of your plumbing. They're going to check every single cabinet, every single appliance, everything, and give you a full report so you know exactly what the home condition is. And then we can also give that report to the builder and make sure that they fix these before you actually walk in. Now we're actually gonna go meet our home inspector. His name is Sean Glass with Glass Home Inspection, and he's gonna go over what this house has wrong with it, what it doesn't have wrong with it, all the in-betweens. And we're gonna have a good full picture for our client of why this house is going to be a good fit for them, and then have everything fixed by the builder. Come and follow us. All right, you guys, welcome inside the property. We were actually standing inside of one of Lennar's community called Allora Vita here within Peoria, Arizona, and this is gonna be the new home of one of our clients that's from out of state. They came here, they're actually gonna have this property for a second home, but they're also gonna have their daughter live here as well because this is a next-gen home. If you're not familiar with what a next-gen home is, it means it actually has its own little apartment/studio with another garage. Let me just show you that real quick because it's actually really cool. So here you'll have like the master, you have the laundry room, and then through this door, which looks like it would be a garage, you have this whole little apartment. Super cool. Full appliances, full range, countertop, access to the backyard. You have your own separate entrance. Here you have your own bathroom. And then follow me over here because this is actually a really cool feature. Check this out. You have your own stackable washer dryer here in the actual closet as well. So if you want to use this for, mom and dad or for your, kid coming back from college, this is also a wonderful option, okay? But the real reason why we're here is to go over the home inspection. So one of our home inspectors is Sean Glass with Glass Home Inspections. He does a wonderful job every single time, and he's very thorough with his actual inspections. We're gonna meet with him right now and go over some of the small particulars. Sean, good to see you again, brother.
Good to see you.
Yep. So we actually just went through the entire inspection. I want to just give them a little bit of rundown about how long you've been doing inspections and some of your background.
Okay. So I've actually worked in construction since I was roughly about 14, and
Yeah.
I've been a home inspector since 2010. And before that, I actually was a superintendent for a home builder. So I do specialize in new builds.
Oh, beautiful. So one of the big things that we were talking about is like there's no such thing as a perfect home, correct?
There is not. There never has been, there never will.
There never will be, okay? So I want to just kind of get that, out in the open that we're always going to find something. A lot of some stuff that we actually find is going to be your smaller stuff like for your drywall, for your cracks, for your actual, maybe your stucco or maybe in your baseboards, paint touch-ups. But one of the things that we actually want to really address is things that we find on the roof, with plumbing, trusses, HVAC, hot water heaters, like the real major components of the actual home. And we actually did find something for the HVACs, is that correct?
That is correct, yes. So
okay.
If we step outside, we'll start at the electrical panel so I can explain it to you.
Yep, absolutely. Let's go this way. All right, Sean, we're here at the electrical panel, and you said that we found some issues with some of the HVACs and some of the breakers. Can you give us some more insight on that?
Absolutely. So what we found here is air conditioner number 1 is for the house, and air conditioner number 2 is for the next gen unit. And air conditioner number 1 is the larger unit, but it is running off of a 15 amp breaker, which is actually undersized. And air conditioner number 2 for the next gen is running off a 50 amp breaker, which is actually oversized. They actually installed these breakers backwards. This one means we're going to have tripping issues and operation issues with this one all the time. And the one with the 50 amp breaker for the next gen, because it is oversized, it is not actually properly protected from an electrical surge. And if there was an electrical surge, would cause major damage to the electrical components of the system. So a simple error, but a very costly error if something were to happen. So definitely something that should be looked at and addressed. And we always check to make sure that these match what the unit specs indicates.
Yeah, and we already actually verified with you, showed us the actual pictures based off what the manufacturer showed. These are the appropriate breaker sizes for the next gen unit, which we actually walked you in, and then also for the main house.
Correct.
So like you were saying, the easy solution would be just to have the electrician come out and just swap those.
Correct.
Or you even said you might even want to see a 20 on here based off of the manufacturer.
Yeah, 20 is the max rated size. So this way, if when it's working hard in the summer and it's drawing a little bit more power than it normally would, it could actually trip the breaker, which means you would be going without air conditioning. It doesn't have to be up to the max of 20 amps, but it's not a bad idea to be up at that range just as a precaution. We just don't want to be under and we don't want to be over. That's what we don't want. So,
So this is actually a really, really good find. I know our client, I know I would personally would be very happy with that, because the last thing you want to do going into the summer, if you know, we're already in April, we're hitting close to 100 degrees, is to have no AC during the summertime, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than no AC in the summertime here.
Absolutely. So, Sean, I know that we already went through our report. It was a 33-page report. We went through a lot of the details. Sean is amazingly thorough with what he does with reports. But I want to give you the kind of like the floor. What are some other things, if you were as a home buyer, that you should look out for when looking for your home inspection? Actually, how to address those with builders.
So you're going to look out for leaks. And one of the way, not just running the water, that's the common mistake that people do, is that they just run the hot water, run the cold water, and see that there's no leak. But if you actually fill up the sink, then drain it, we often find leaks, which was actually the case in the next gen sink here. We actually had a leak in an unusual location. When I filled and drained the kitchen sink, I actually had a leak at the clean out underneath the sink instead of at one of the drain connections or something like that. So that means it's actually leaking inside the wall. And if left unaddressed, that could have led to water damage, mold, and a very expensive remediation. So that's definitely something you want to look out for.
Okay. And how would you recommend, like, if we obviously see these things, we have the inspection report. I know what I do as a real estate agent, but have you ever ran into issues where the builder doesn't want to, fix some of these items?
Yes, so there are occasions where builders will want you to hold off until the 11-month warranty, and that can be inside of their policies there. But I do always recommend working with a buyer's agent, because a buyer's agent is definitely going to fight for your right and to get things repaired. So that's a good recommendation. Whereas if you're just working on your own, the builder may not feel as pressured to address some of the smaller items that you're requesting to be addressed. Whereas if you're working with the buyer's agent, they are definitely going to go to bat for you. So I think that is a big help.
Yep. And one of the biggest things is we want to understand, like when we actually are buying a new build, so they already set up an inspection for us to do, but we hired our third-party inspector a week before our actual walkthrough with the builder. The reason being is because when we walk through, there's a lot of things that we don't see, on the roof, in the attic, between the walls, leaks. There's a lot that we're not professionals in this realm. So that's why we want to hire the professionals to make sure they do a thorough inspection. So what we're going to do now is give that report, give it to the builder. We're going to send a very thorough email on exactly what we want addressed, if not all of the items. And then when we come in and do our walkthrough 1 week later, we're going to see exactly all the things that they fixed. If not, we're going to make sure that we submit the report again with all the items that they missed. And then after that, we're going to have a final walkthrough before we actually sign docs and before we actually close on this home. So Sean, thank you so much for all of your time today.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate you. How can we get a hold of you if somebody's watching right now and want to actually get an inspection?
You can actually schedule your inspection with our live and interactive scheduling system on our website, which is glasshomeinspections.com. You can email us at info@glasshomeinspections.com, or feel free to call us at 602-499-7112.
Beautiful. Guys, if you are looking for a wonderful real estate agent here within the greater Phoenix area and you need help buying any type of home for that matter, please make sure to reach out to us. All of our information is in the description below. We can't wait to see you on the next video. Take care, guys.